Yes, Viral.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Viral.
Okay, can we start?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, good morning to all my friends and respected faculties and chief speaker, Mr. Nisant Kotak. I am Dauda Viral from Electrical Department 6th semester. Today, we are here to organize this webinar for the scope of electrical engineer in an IT sector, which in detailed information will be taken by Mr. Nisant sir, who has completed his BTech Electrical Engineering from Marwadi University in 2016. Currently, he is working as a senior consultant at IBM Bangalore. He has a work experience for more than 4 years in an IT sector. And he identified that there is a lot of scope of electrical engineering in IT sector. This webinar will be very helpful at the time of placement where we have to apply in a different companies from different streams. So I request Nissan sir to guide us for the scope of electrical engineers in a IT sector, which is going to be very beneficial to us, so that I request Nissan sir to take over this session. Hello, Nissan sir. You can continue.
Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the introduction. I'll be starting with my journey as introduction is already given. So I completed my BE in electrical stream in 2016 batch. So I'm 2016 pass out. After completing my engineering, I started working with Hexaware Technology in Chennai. So I was there in Hexaware Technologies for about 2 years. After that, I moved to Bangalore and I joined PwC. For in PwC, I was working for about 2 years. After that, I joined IBM recently. So the main thing why I was interested in this particular session was because my mindset was also like that. Okay, being in electrical engineering, I don't want to join IT field. And to be honest, in first semester, I used to hate computers. So but my after joining corporate world, my views are completely changed. So I just wanted to share my journey. So to start with, sorry, it's not. Do I need any specific control, sir? I'm not able to move the slides. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So as I said, I started my journey with Hexaware Technologies. So I joined as a fresher. So the funny thing about this is, I think Gaurav sir might be, or Amit sir might be aware that Hexaware Technologies came for campus placement in Marwadi University. So at that time, I was not at all interested in giving interview in IT fields, because I always wanted to go to core field. You know, I wanted to work on electrical. Being an electrical engineer, I wanted to work on electrical companies only. So I didn't even attend that interview. But after completing my engineering, I worked in two of the companies. Like I worked with Ultracap Cables, which is a cable manufacturer, and I worked with Stelmec Ahmedabad, which is a circuit breaker manufacturer company. So I worked in both these companies for only 1 month. After that, I got an opportunity to give interview in Hexaware Technologies again, not through campus, but uh, through CoCube portal, which I gave an examination for. So Hexaware approached me and I gave interview. I went to Bhopal especially to give this interview, and luckily I got in. So this is what I wanted to share. I never wanted to be in IT field, but after being in electrical field for about 2 months, I realized that uh, like corporate culture is way more suitable for me. So it's never too late to explore different areas. Like you shouldn't be rigid. That's what this session is all about. Okay? If you are pursuing your career in electrical engineering, you should be in electrical field only. That shouldn't be the concern. You know, you should always open to explore different things. So I started my career with Hexaware Technologies, and I didn't know anything about coding. I didn't know anything, like my communication skills were also less, because in IT, especially when you're working with MNCs, your communication skills should be way too good. Still, I somehow got in Hexaware Technologies and I started working uh, with that. After that, as I mentioned, I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC as associate level one for about 2 years, and then recently I joined IBM. So about IT companies, people generally have misconception about IT field. Okay, if you are in IT field, then all you have to do is coding. So that's not the thing. That's what I want to highlight. That's not the thing, that only coding is the scope of IT field. So in this particular slide, I'll be explaining about different kinds of companies that you can work with. So starting with small scale IT companies. So small scale IT companies, you might be aware that a lot of people nowadays are doing web development and app development. So there are so many small companies, like you can say an office with a 5 to 10 members in it. So like that, those kind of companies are small scale IT companies, and they deal with small projects. Like for example, if I have a restaurant and I want to create or build my own application and website, so I'll approach to this kind of companies, small scale IT companies. So what they'll do is they can guide me with the digital marketing, or they can create my website, or they can create an application for me. So those kind of things the small scale IT companies deal with. So one scope is this, where you will require some coding skills, or some or other way you should be a little familiar with the coding and web development and app development. Those sort of things you should be familiar with if you want to work in this small scale IT companies. Then there comes startups. So startups, work culture in startups are completely different. That is not what we expect, because startups always they want us to work till late, or they, because they are growing, they are not already grown up companies. So they are growing and they want high output from employees. So startups, like you might be aware about Zomato and Swiggy, all those are startups. They are still in a good state right now, but there are so many startups in Bangalore is you might be aware that Bangalore is startup hub. So we can't even imagine what kind of startups, what kind of applications they are working on. So there are so many things to explore when you work with startups. They are always creative. The work culture is very creative, and there is no burden, like you have to be on time, like you have to be in the office by 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. It shouldn't be like that. But whatever the work they expect you to do, you should be able to complete it by the end of the day. That's the work idea behind startups. Then there comes multinational companies. So as my work as I mentioned in my work experience, that I work with Hexaware Technologies and PricewaterhouseCoopers and IBM. So those companies are multinational companies. Multinational companies means they are established in more than one country. So they deal with huge clients. Like for example, as you guys, most of the guys are from electrical engineering, you might be aware about the uh, company named Siemens. So Siemens is a huge company, right? So uh, so the company who are providing service to Siemens are known as multinational companies. Like they deal with huge clients like Siemens, and Siemens also will prefer some working with someone who is more who is established in multiple nations. You know, they'll not go for small scale IT companies, or they'll not go for mediocre companies. You know, they'll always go for giants. And then there comes big four companies. So big four companies, PricewaterhouseCoopers, as I mentioned in my work experience, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC is one of the big four companies in the world. So what these companies do, the main area of their work culture is they work with audit thing, but they also need people in their IT department. So no any company will be there without an IT department. And big four companies are the companies which are established in multiple nations, but they also deal with multiple domains. For example, PricewaterhouseCoopers. So PricewaterhouseCoopers deal with advisory and tax consulting in different countries. So those are big four companies, and big four companies are you I I'm not sure whether you guys will be familiar with this or not, but there are big four means there are only four companies in the world which comes under this category. So first one is Deloitte, the second one is PricewaterhouseCoopers, the third one is Eastern and Young, and fourth is KPMG. So these four companies are established in more than 150 countries. So you can imagine how big they could be. So and how big their IT department could be. So you can work with this kind of companies, and it's not like you are in an electrical field, so you won't get an exposure to work with this kind of companies. I have worked with multinational companies, I work with big four companies, so there is no barrier. If you have potential to work on this, then you can get in easily. And interviews are also not that tough. If you want to get into, you might need some expertise, and you should be fluent with the communication. I mean, you should be able to communicate with the clients that they provide to you. So after that, skills required to join an IT company. So as I said, most people who are not in IT field, they think that coding is the only key to get into the IT field, but that is not the thing. The first and foremost thing that is required to get into IT field is logical reasoning, because coding you can do if you have a logical ability to solve the queries that the customer is facing. So if you can do that, then there is an easy way to get in. Then the other thing is good communication skills. As I said, communication is the key in corporate world. No matter whether you are in IT field or you are in any other field that is related to corporate. So communication skills, they always look for good communicators, because they deal with they deal with international clients, and especially the multinational companies and big four companies. They always deal with giants. So you may communicate with people in Mexico, you may communicate with people in UK, and everybody has different accent, so you need to be able to understand them, you need to be able to explain them. So those kind of communication skills are required in IT field. Uh, the third thing is delegation and time management. So you might be working with projects which are which are having tough deadline or something like that. So in that case, you should be able to manage your work, and you should be able to deliver the service within the time that they have provided. And yeah, as I said, a lot of people think that I won't be able to survive in IT field because I don't know anything about coding. So as I said, there was a subject called CPU in my first semester. As I said, I used to hate it because I wasn't able to write a C program also. So I was that dumb when it came to coding. But coding is not really required. Uh, Coding is required when you work in small companies, or if you really are passionate about coding, then you can learn it, and you can make your way through some domains like web development, app development, and there are software developments as well, like desktop based softwares, security, those kind of domains. If you want to go into, then coding is must. But there are a lot of different things. For example, I am working on an ERP, enterprise resource planning. So that is a kind of domain in IT. In that, coding is not that much required. If you have logical abilities, then you can copy the code from anywhere, right? If any one of you are familiar with the coding, then you might be knowing that there are already ready-made codes available on Stack Overflow and a lot of other things, W3 schools. These are the websites where you can get reference from if you don't know about coding. But all you need to learn is how to resolve the query that customer is facing. So if at all anyone is having that doubt, coding is really required or not, then coding is not actually required. It is a part of IT field, but it is not whole and soul the coding that you need to learn if you want to get into IT field. And now there are some perks of working in IT field. So first, we all want to work for money, right? So money is the key. Like IT companies pay. The pay scale in IT company is really good compared to any other field. So money is the first and foremost thing that we all might be looking for, unless you are too passionate about uh, other things. So the pay scale in IT company is very good. Then other thing is flexibility to work in any company. So as I said, no any company will be there without an IT department, at least not the big companies. So big companies always have an IT department, internal IT department, or they approach to different IT companies to provide the services. So there is a flexibility to work, like you can get into any companies. For example, if you are an electrical engineer and if you want to work with electrical field only, then there are certain limitations to that. You can't work with PwC if you are an electrical engineer. You can't work with Hexaware Technologies if you are an electrical engineer. But if you are an IT engineer, you can work with electrical companies as well. So that is the thing. IT department is always going to be there. And nowadays, even this generation is all about automation, so everything is getting automated. And you can get in automation field as well. Most a lot of people might have worked on robots, and they might have done the coding to run the robots. So there are software robots as well, not the they do not have hardware or something like that, but in IT companies they have uh, software robots, which and those kind of softwares will do the daily activities. You don't need to do anything, you just run the robots and it will complete your daily activities. So you can work in that kind of things as well. You don't need to be rigid about being in one particular. There is always a flexibility, to work in any of the companies. The next thing is constant change. So IT field is a field where change, you need to adapt the change whenever it comes. So for example, as I said, I am working as a Workday consultant, which is ERP. So before that, there was a technology called PeopleSoft. So PeopleSoft is outdated now, and Workday has taken place. So you should always you will always have an opportunity to explore new things, learn new things. It is not a constant field, where you just sit and do the same thing for the rest of your life. It's not going to be like that. It's always a exciting field. You always get a lot of things to explore around. Then there comes a work-life balance. So this is more charming when you are 6 to 7 years experienced. After that, you also want to spend some time with your family, and you might be having your own kids. So in that case, you will always seek for work-life balance. I mean, after 6 to 7 years, after doing job for 6 to 7 years, you will not be able to do a job which requires 12 hours of yours in a day. So don't go for that kind of jobs. I mean, always IT is always best when it comes to work-life balance. So I'll tell you my example only. When I was working with PwC, at that time, my work hours, you won't even believe that I used to wake up at 11 o'clock. I used to go to office by 12 o'clock, and I used to come home by 6 o'clock. So that's my work life balance. But yeah, the thing is, you need to be able to get the job done in within that 5 to 6 hours. If you can complete your task within 5 hours or 4 hours, you'll be free to go. Nobody will stop you. So that is another thing that and you should look for when you're getting a job, be it electrical or IT. But IT field has more flexibility when it comes to work-life balance. Then work from home and leave flexibilities. So work from home, especially in this COVID pandemic time, it has been a blessing for people like me, working in IT field, because a lot of people are losing their job. A lot of people are not able to go to the workplace, and because of that they are losing their job. They are not being paid in full. So IT companies always pay in full when it comes to a situation like pandemic. They like I have during this pandemic I worked on two companies, PwC, and recently I joined IBM. So they haven't cut a single rupee from my salary because of work from home thing. There is always a business continuity plan when it comes to IT field. So even if there is a, for example, you are living in Bangalore and there is a flood like situation or something like that there, then they'll not ask you to come to office, or they'll just simply provide you internet and everything that requires to continue the business plan, so work from home flexibility, even if there is no such situation, like there is nothing, pandemic is also not there, there is no such disastrous situation, then also you can opt for work from home twice in a week or something like that. So it depends on a company, but you in my current company I can opt for work from home twice in a week, even if there is no such situation like pandemic. So there is another flexibility to work in IT field. Then there comes travel opportunities. So travel opportunities, like not within India, but you can get if you are working with MNCs, then they might be having offices in different countries. So as I said, PwC is established in more than 150 countries. So there are high chances that you will be able to, you will get opportunity to travel different countries. So that is also one of the perks. And other perks like corporate culture is really cool. Like they'll not ask you, okay, when you are coming to office, when you are leaving the office, nobody is going to track your hours, how many hours you are working. Nobody is going to uh, record your screen or nothing like that. They just expect you to get the job done, whatever the task you have. If you can complete it within 3 hours, then also it's fine. If you can complete it within 10 hours, then it's up to you. But if you can complete within 3 hours, they'll not stop you, they'll not ask you to stay back to office, or they'll not ask you to do anything. You can simply go home if your tasks for the day are completed. So those kind of perks are there in working with IT fields. uh, yeah, so there's another thing that I wanted to explain, like areas to work on. When a non-IT person hears about IT field, they always think that it has to do with coding, and it has to do with web development and app development and those sort of things, but that is not the case. These are the fields in which you can work on. And a lot of most of the fields don't require hard coding skills. A little coding experience or little coding knowledge is enough to work on a lot of fields from this. So first of all, web developer, as you all know, what web developers do. So web developers generally build websites or Android applications or iOS applications or games, probably. uh, some kind of coding, they deal with some kind of coding, basically. And then there comes application developers. So there are a lot of other than web applications, there are desktop applications as well. So technologies, the people who work on technologies like Java, SQL, all those technologies, they can work on application development as well. Then there comes ERP consultants. So what ERP consultant, these terminologies are might be new for you, but you'll at least get an idea like what kind of work you can get if you are hired by an employer. You should know what are the scope of working in an IT fields are, or which all fields they can put you into. So ERP is enterprise resource planning. So when I was in Marwadi, I know there was an application. I'm not sure whether it's still there or not, but we used to log in, uh, and we used to get all the data that is required by us. So same way, let's take an example of Siemens. So Siemens has staff around 50,000 to 60,000 employees are working on Siemens. So collecting the data of 50,000 employees and processing their payroll, their compensation details. Every details is there in the ERP application. So this particular field I'm more familiar with because I have been working in this field since the day I joined IT. So that's all about ERP. Like, it basically deals with the data of the employee, and it processes the payroll, and a lot of things are there. Then finance consultant, you can work as a finance integration consultant, where there are a little bit of coding, and you will be basically there are high chances that a fresher will get into finance department because they always prefer experienced ones. But in case if you are too lucky to get into this, then what work basically you'll be doing is you might be responsible to create finance integrations, because there would be a lot of IT applications which they might have installed or implemented within their organization. So that's a high level scenario, but it has to do with finance basically. Then there comes IMS consultant. So IMS is infrastructure management consultant. The way there is a website for Marwadi University, and you log into that, and if you want any data, then you can get it, right? So that kind of applications IMS consultants built. Then there comes robotic process automation. So what robotic process automation consultant do is they create robots which help you in completing your day to day. For example, if you there are few things that you need to do daily. For example, filling up the timesheets. So you don't need to open it daily, and you don't need to fill the hours daily. You don't need to do all this. You can just simply create a robot, and the robot will do that thing for you. So that kind of applications robotic consultants will create. Then there comes data scientist. So data scientist will work with data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. It's a part of artificial intelligence. It also the robotic process automation is also a part of data science only. So you can, once you are successful consultant on robotic process automation, then you can go for data scientist role. So that is also one of the areas where you can work on. Then there are middleware consultants, support engineers. I'm not sure whether I should explain all this to you or not, but middleware consultants and everything is high level, so you might not be able to understand it right now. But this is something, as the name suggests, middleware consultants means you will be a middleware between the two softwares. So these kind of fields. So the area of basically, to sum it up, the area of expertise you'll get after working in an IT field is humongous. There is nobody is going to stop you from learning new things. Nobody is going to uh, stop you from exploring new things. Uh, so that's about it. Areas to work on, and these all areas you'll be able to work when you are hired by some MNCs, for example Hexaware Technologies or IBM or Accenture. So never hesitate to take an opportunity when you are getting, especially in MNC. You initially you might get bored with the MNCs because they are not quick in giving the work. For example, when I joined Hexaware Technologies, it was like I was simply doing nothing for 6 months. So there might be a period where you will not be doing anything. So in that case also, they'll not cut your salary or nothing. They'll not do anything. But it will just take some time for you to get the projects. But once you get the project, then it will be very easy and very smooth journey in the IT field. So, and this fields, Internet of Things, I wanted to highlight because uh, it deals with electrical field as well, because Internet of Things, you might be knowing that nowadays ACs are coming which we can operate through Wi-Fi, or we can operate a lot of things through applications. There are always in applications for things that we are using in our day-to-day life. For example, AC or TV. Nowadays, TVs are also coming where we can operate it through mobile, or laptops also we can operate. So those kind of things will be coming under Internet of Things. So if you are getting in a domain like IoT, then it's a plus, because it deals with electronics and IT as well. So the pay scale will also be high in this kind of technologies like IoT. But it is really difficult to get into this kind of domains. They'll always prefer experienced people. But if you are lucky enough and if you are getting it, don't miss the opportunities to work in this kind of things. Then there comes artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence also, excuse me. So that also deals with electrical and applications as well. And there comes security, which is obvious thing. The data security nowadays is very vital. So you can work on technologies like IT or IMS. So yeah, that's about areas that you can work on as a fresher or as an experienced person. There comes a Q&A session. So if you guys are having any questions on what I have explained or about my personal experience in IT field, anything you can ask.
Anyone have any question? Then they can unmute and ask question to Kotak sir.
You can ask any general question as well. No, it shouldn't be related to IT. Anything you can ask.
Okay, thank you, Nishant sir. We are so grateful to you that you spent your precious time with us. Okay, there is-
Viral, just I would like to interrupt you. We have one question from Milan. Yes, Milan, you can unmute yourself and you can discuss with Nishant, sir.
That's fine. Even if you don't want to unmute yourself, I got your question on the chat. Have a degree of electrical engineer and having some knowledge of IT will be a plus point in this kind of job. Yeah, of course, it will be a plus point. Even if you don't have any knowledge, like as I said, they don't require any knowledge in IT, or they don't require you to be expert in coding or something. They'll just in my first interview, they didn't ask any of the technical questions. They just ask one question: if you know if and else condition in C language. So that's the only question they asked, the technical question. Other than that, what they look for is your interpersonal skills and your communication skills and the way you deal with the client. If they find you will be able to deal with the clients, then they'll not look after ITPs, because if you are joining as a fresher, they'll train you for 2 to 3 months. Like when I joined Hexaware Technologies, they provided me training for about 4 months, three general training for 3 months, like a C language and C++ and all those things they provided for 3 months. And after that, I was getting into ERP, so they provided me special training for ERP. So you don't need to worry about that. And if you are having some extra knowledge of IT, then it will definitely be a plus point. Major knowledge languages required in IT. So English should be fluent, and it would be a plus if you can, if you are knowing any other languages. Like for example, I'm working with a client from Germany, so they sometimes write an email in German language. So we need to translate it. But if you know this kind of languages, then it will be a plus. But only language that they'll require is English. It should be a fluent English. Sorry, I missed a question. What if we don't know very much high level of knowledge in IT sector, then also we want to work with it? Is it possible? Yeah, it's definitely possible. There is no high level knowledge required about IT. Just simple logical reasoning you should be able to, because if you are going for an interview, they might ask some questions like if you know if and else conditions or while loops or for loops, so which are basic, very basic concepts. So if you know that, then also you can crack the interview as a fresher. I hope I'm answering the questions correctly. If I'm not, or if I'm missing something, then you can retype your message or question.
Nishant, Amit was here. I've already given my feedback on the WhatsApp, so you can just look at it later on. But I think the students had one kind of thing, that language when they were talking about, I think the computer language. So whether they should know C, C++, or Python, because this particularly 6th semester students, they have already studied Python as well as a little bit of C and C++ in first year. So which language will help them to land into IT field, particularly computer language?
Yeah.
Or,
So as you said, Python they are already familiar with. So Python is a very good, and right now it's in demand. Like in machine learning or in automation technologies, Python is used vividly. So if they have a little bit knowledge of Python, then it's definitely a very good thing. Because when I was completing, or when I was pursuing the electrical engineer at that time, I only went through C and C++ in first or second semesters. So C, C++ is outdated right now. But if you know C, C++, then also they'll be convinced. But Python is definitely a good thing to learn, and it is on demand. So if you have basic knowledge about Python, then it's really good. Like they'll definitely acknowledge it. The work of electrical machine.
okay, thank you. It's really like you are basically, these are all my agenda and you are helping me to move ahead. So one more question. Right now you are working on which platform? Can you just elaborate what you are working with, and because it may be helpful to them. So what kind of work you need to do?
Yeah, sure. So right now I'm working as an senior ERP consultant. So ERP is enterprise resource planning. So my client is AIG. Right now my client used to be AIG, American Insurance Group. So it's a client from America. And what we have to do is we have to implement the HR system. ERP is basically enterprise resource planning. So it's a human resource application where all the employees that are working for AIG will have to deal with their data, and we basically have to implement a system for them. So what we have to do, we have to create such a system that it can in-house all the data of the employees that are working worldwide for AIG. So AIG might be having a lot of different locations. For example, there is AIG in Bangalore as well. There is AIG in America, Houston. So different states of America and different countries they are established in. So we have to process their payroll. For example, AIG India has around 2,000 employees in Bangalore location. So people who are working in Bangalore will be paid differently, and people in the US will be paid differently. US have different payroll system, right? They have different deductions, and we have HRA and all those things. So we have to create a system such a way that when the payroll is processed, it processed in such a way that when payroll for Bangalore people is processed, then it should be processed like that. It should include HRA and all those things. And when it is processed for US employees, then at that time it should be including 401k and all those benefit plans, and they have a lot of benefit plans. So it's a high level, but that's all we do. Like recruiting process, the other thing is recruiting process. So anything that is related to HR, that will be there in that application that we create.
Okay. For one more question I have, that I had seen that you have changed some of the companies, like as you had mentioned that initially you were with Hexaware and then right now you are with IBM. So just can you elaborate your thinking process, that why you had changed from one company to second one, second to third, and what were actually the things were that was there in your mind and you considered, and is there anything where you regretted even that why I took this decision? Has it happened in your life?
Yeah, so when I joined Hexaware Technologies, it was like a good experience. But in IT company, certifications are really add-on advantage when you want to switch. So Hexaware wasn't ready to provide the certifications because the field that I am working on, the certification cost is too much, like 4 to 5 lakhs per certification. So that certification, they were not ready to provide me. And I wanted that certification to enhance my career. So in IT field, no matter which field you are working in, but certification is must. Like it is an added advantage if you have certifications, and when you jump from one company to another company, then salary hike will be really good. So when I jumped from Hexaware Technologies to PwC, I almost got 90% hike. So when I switched from PwC to IBM, I got 60 to 70% hike. So when you are having certifications, you'll get good hike when you switch the company. And about the decision that I regret was jumping from PwC to IBM, because work culture in PwC was very casual. You don't need to wear formals and you don't need to attend daily calls. You just need to communicate through mails, and 5 to 6 hours work per day is sufficient. So work-life balance was really good in PwC. But IBM is a little hectic, like 8 to 9 hours you'd have to work and report daily and all those things. So a little hectic after coming from PwC, but overall it's a good company only.
Nishant, we have one question from first year student Mesfin. He wants to know that what ways should we prepare ourselves to succeed in the corporate world?
So in corporate world, the key to succeed is communication. The reason why I'm saying it is because the more you communicate, the more the client will be convinced. And if the client is convinced, they'll be providing good reviews to your employer, because employer will not be knowing what you're working on. You will directly be dealing with the client. So if client is giving good reviews about you, and client will only give good reviews about you when you are communicating or involving effectively in all the tasks. So your more involvement in the process, they'll be impressed, and they'll pass the feedback to your employer, and an employer will provide you the higher positions. For example, if you are a software engineer, then you'll be senior software engineer. The next year the appraisal process goes on. So it all depends on the feedback that you get when it comes to being successful. So it all depends on the feedback that you get, and feedback you'll only get when you are more involving more in the projects and involving more in the discussions.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. Recently only, the client, it was not a requirement from client, but we as a team from our end, we created one robotic process. So client didn't require it, but we still built it and we showed it to them. Okay, if you are interested in implementing it in your organization, then it will be beneficial for you. And they really like the idea. So they are planning to implement it. It is not yet implemented, but they are trying to implement it, and they are really impressed with the solution that we provided. So even if client doesn't require something, if you think that it is helpful for client, then you should go ahead and explain the idea, at least it doesn't matter that you can complete it or not. Just explain the ideas. They always look for ideas. So that is another thing that you can achieve.
Okay, students, if anyone have any question, please you can ask or you can discuss here.
I missed some of the messages in the chat. I'll just go through it. Machine learning is it has nothing to do with electrical stream or mechanical stream. It's machine learning in IT is a different terminology. Like it's related to automation. Then for international students, I am not sure about international students, but I don't know how they are hiring international students or something like that. But I'll maybe I can confirm this and get back to you. I will share this PPT with sir so he can share it, and I have mentioned my email ID there, so you can just ping me, or you can just email me whatever questions you have. But I need to confirm this. How was your first day in IT sector as an electrical engineer, and what kind of fear or hesitation you felt? Definitely there were fear because a lot of people came from they came from very good colleges, and they came from very IIT and those kind of colleges they came from. So there were hesitation and fear, and it was like simple process. First day is not that tough because you just need to complete your onboarding process and everything. But yeah, when you see other people, you feel a little intimidated by them, but there is no need to feel that, because we also go through the same thing, but they have more exposures. That's it. Then other ways should prepare ourselves to succeed in corporate world. I have mentioned my email ID. Yeah, you can note it down. If you can directly reach out to me if you have any questions, or if you are getting any opportunity and having hesitation, so you can write an email. How many sectors are there? I'm sorry, I didn't understand these questions. How many sectors are there in further electrical engineering? What does that mean?
Nishant, actually, I will ask Dilesh to talk to us. We'll guide him for this. So you can skip this question because there are many sectors of electrical engineering if I need to give answer, Dilesh. So just like we have power system, we have machines, we have power electronics, renewable energy sources, and nowadays we have automation. We also have electric vehicles, right? So all these are considered as a sector where you can get in. And this is, I think, one of, like I was discussing with Ronak sir in morning, that this will be, you can say that let's start a kind of, you can say that series. Like today, Nishant has given a very good talk on the career opportunities in IT field for electrical engineers. And we will have same kind of presentation, that what opportunities you have in automation or in other such question. Or in other such field, so that we will be keep doing, and you will definitely come to know about the different fields and different opportunities available there. Yeah. So Nishant, over to you.
Yeah, so someone asked a very good question: how to approach to IT field, IT company. Yeah. So if you are if you want to be into MNC, then as a fresher, then the best way to get into MNC is through campus placement, because that's how I got it. But I didn't, as I said, I didn't appear for that interview when Hexaware Technologies came to the campus. But then there were some competitive exams like CoCubes and MCAT. So I got it through that. But if you want to if you want to pursue a career in an IT company, then and if you are not getting through a campus placement, then how you can do is you can approach a small scale companies, as I mentioned in my next slides. Yeah, small scale IT companies and startups, they will hire you. How you can reach out to them is you can find a contact through LinkedIn. I would like to advise every one of you to be active on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is way better than even Naukri, because when I switched my companies, both the times I got it through LinkedIn only. So LinkedIn is a very good way to communicate with people who are already there in IT companies. So, and if you send a connection request, everyone will accept it and everyone will be able to guide you through your questions. So you can reach out to some people who are working in small scale IT companies. Like in Ahmedabad, there are a lot of IT companies. It is like every now and then you'll be able to see, if you're walking on the road, you'll be able to see a lot of IT companies. It's like that in Ahmedabad right now. So you can open their LinkedIn page. You can see what all the like who are all the employees working in this particular company. You can reach out to any of the employees and they'll be able to guide you. Like if there are any vacancies, then they'll be able to refer you. So that's how you can approach. But if you want to get into MNCs, then it's a little difficult to approach them, because they'll be receiving a lot of resumes per day. So it's a little difficult to get into MNCs other than campus placements. But if you're lucky enough, then you can put your resume on career site, and if they have a bulk hiring, then they might approach you. But it's a little difficult. I mean, you shouldn't keep your hopes high after putting a resume on career site. But yeah, you can still multinational companies also, you can reach out through employees on LinkedIn. So yeah, that's what you can do.
Is there any more question?
Viral, before you end the session, I would like to just tell everyone who are present here that first of all, I've already shared with Nishant that the presentation is really good. He has given the advantages, particularly advantages of working in IT field. They are really nice, and that is something what I normally say, that when you are working in core field, you understand that you have to work in majority of the time. Let's say if I talk about any companies or any industry, they would be out of your city, so it will be a little bit away, or you will have to work in the, you can say that, interior part. While when you are in IT company, you have this advantage that you will have a chance to work in big cities. So that is one thing. Of course, everything has got their pros and cons. So one advantage of electrical field, if I say, then it is always there that you can have your own knowledge, and that knowledge does not change so fast. But in IT company, it's very, you can say that, cutthroat competition. And you have to always get engaged, you have to always get improved, you have to always see that you are learning new things, you are applying it. And there are a lot of competitions, particularly if you want to get into a big company. And another one important thing is that, as already it has been very nicely conveyed, that IT company has nothing to do with IT information and technology branch. There are many big giants available in India as well as in the world who would hire the students who are not having that computer engineering background. And the reason is that there are many problems, right? I also had come across many such, like you can say that right now, we have an IT team in our institute or our university, and I am in consultation, or you can say that I am in communication with them to develop many of the modules. So right now, let's say the feedback module is there, examination module somewhere I was there. So when I'm working there, see, I have to make sure that the software which they are writing, they are fulfilling my requirement. And not only my requirement, I have to see that it will be the requirement of the last student or last faculty. So then your role would be there. And for that, I may not be that much good in programming. Still, I can survive. Not only survive, I can do the best. So that was actually the message which we wanted to convey, that this is a good career if you find that IT field I'm talking about. I'm not talking about IT engineering. Again, I'm speaking. So IT field has got good opportunities, and there's nothing wrong in going into that side if it is giving you the kind of life which you are thinking. So if your line is matching with them, then definitely you may think of that approach. So that's it from my side. Again, Nishant, thank you very much for your nice and wonderful presentation. And I'm sure that this won't be the end. We would be in touch, and we'll always like to invite you at the campus. It is your college, so you are always welcome at college at any time you feel. And we would work together so that we can work better for the upcoming generations. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. I also wanted to visit the campus, but due to this COVID situation, couldn't. So I'll definitely visit once before I move back to Bangalore.
Yeah, sure. Looking forward for that. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Nissan sir. We are so grateful to you that you just stand with us in guiding us how to develop our career in IT sector. And I also thanks to Marwadi University that they arranged such a helpful webinar for us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.